Hello, my name is Alex Bunten, and I'm the Director of Workforce and Education at the Lake Champlain Chamber here in Burlington, Vermont. Home of Ben & Jerry's ice cream, incredible four-season outdoor recreation, some of the best craft beers in the world, the best sunsets in the world, and now the vanguard of electric airplane aviation at Beta Technologies. An exciting place to live by most measures, but I am a little biased. Anyway, I'm here to walk you through a 2-year regional action plan that seeks to mitigate some of our workforce challenges here in the Green Mountain State. By the end of our time together today, I hope you'll understand why this work matters here in Vermont, what this action plan consists of, how we'll measure it, and where we go next. Side note, I am fighting a world-class head cold at the moment. I'll try to edit out the sniffles, but you'll excuse me for staying off camera. Before we dive into the plan, let me quickly share a bit about the Lake Champlain Chamber. Established over 120 years ago, we are the largest business organization in Vermont, representing employers of all sizes. Our vision is that the northwest of Vermont continues to be the state's leading economic center, creating a vibrant, innovative business environment that provides robust economic opportunity and a sustainable, high quality of life. Our work centers on 5 core areas: expanding economic opportunity, supporting and celebrating business ownership, strengthening our visitor economy, cultivating community leadership, and nurturing emerging talent. So, what is the plan? This is a 2-year regional action plan. It's not a reinvention. There are already tons of great organizations doing talent attraction and workforce development work here in the state. What we don't always have is alignment. So this plan is about supporting what works and what makes the region easier to choose and easier to stay in. So the goal is pretty straightforward. We just want to strengthen the talent ecosystem in Northwest Vermont, and what that means is improving attraction, improving retention, supporting relocation, and tightening the connection between our higher ed students and employers currently. And our role as the chamber is to convene, like many around the country. We sit between employers, colleges, and community leaders, and that gives us a unique vantage point to help build systems rather than one-off efforts. So, why this matters now? Well, we are at a demographic inflection point here in Vermont. We're one of the oldest states in the nation, just behind Maine, Florida, and West Virginia. We have nearly 100,000 Vermonters between the ages of 55 and 65 nearing retirement currently. This is the so-called silver tsunami. Unemployment is at 2.6%, which is great unless you're trying to hire people. Deaths currently outpace births, and while migration did improve a little bit around the pandemic, that's leveled off and our population is now declining again. This is not a temporary workforce problem, it's a structural issue and really will take concerted efforts to fix. So basically any way we can offset our outmigration is a net positive. At the same time, Vermont attracts thousands of out-of-state college students every year to our higher ed institutions. Over 70% of the student body at University of Vermont, Champlain College, and St. Michael's College are from out of state. But too many of them leave after graduation. That is a missed opportunity. If students are able to build professional roots here before they graduate, they're much more likely to stay. And that could be one of our biggest leverage points. So with a broad brush overview of some of our challenges and outmigration and retiring workforce, what is our plan to address some of this in the region? Well, our humble effort has been divided into 3 main pillars: regional talent attraction strategy framework, higher ed collaboration through co-ops, and relocation and retention resource development. So the first one needs a bit of background. We are a second cycle GROW grant recipients from the state of Vermont. This is a program from the state to attract and retain new Vermonters. In our first cycle of this, we did realize that our messaging was a bit fragmented to the folks we were talking to interested in moving here. So our hope for this second time around is that we can convene key stakeholders and rather than telling pieces of the story, we have a more coordinated regional narrative about career opportunities and the quality of life here in the Green Mountain State. This will include stronger employer engagement, aligned messaging, and better digital pathways for people exploring a move here. We're excited about this new aspect of it, which we have funding for to hire a consultant. So this will include both our own engagement with this and a consultant's engagement. The second aspect of our action plan involves higher education retention. As mentioned, we have many out-of-state students coming here, but not all of them seem to want to stay. And so part of that challenge is just creating better professional opportunities for them while they're in college. And the co-op model, which is very popular around the country right now and is being launched at our 3 main colleges in the area, is something we're honing in on, and something we've been developing with St. Michael's College recently as a 2-year pilot co-op program that'll connect chamber member businesses with junior and senior honor students at St. Michael's College in business administration and accounting programs, and help to create paid, meaningful work experiences that can tie them into a Vermont professional environment, hoping to bridge the gap between the academic environment and a professional one. Also, part of this this aspect of the plan is we want to convene all the colleges and employers just to help educate them on what co-op models are, what their value is, and why local organizations should invest the time and energy into doing this as a way to keep some of these out-of-state students here. The third pillar of this action plan is related to relocation and retention. Attracting people to the area is one thing, keeping them is another. So what we're looking to do is create more concierge-style resources, better onboarding pathways, and engaging with employers to find out best practices that integrates new Vermonters into the community. What we found in some of our conversations with employers was that they're very focused on selling the company, selling the work, but there is an opportunity to better sell the Vermont lifestyle, get them integrated into the community. And so that's an opportunity for us to engage with employers and find out where we can best help. So how do we plan to make sure this is all working as planned? Well, the strategic framework really comes down to how many partners are involved in the process, because we want buy-in for this. If we create this in a vacuum, it's not going to work. And so we want partners formally engaged in this process, helping us craft this document, helping us craft this strategy. And so whether that's listening sessions or individual meetings, we want to identify those gaps and prioritize what employers need. For the higher education student retention, it's how many businesses are engaged in that co-op process. We understand that as a challenge for some businesses, creating a new position for a college student, paying that student, as well as mentoring that student. And so just having that buy-in from co-op, from organizations, will be a huge part of that success measure. The aspect of convening all of the co-op organizations would be also an educational opportunity there. So if we can get 20 to 30 organizations at that convening, that'll be a huge success. Last, the relocation resources will be, again, buy-in from employers using the toolkit, and hopefully just more people engaging with our relocation email list. So what does success look like if we do this well? Well, in the short term, it's really employers actively engaged in these coordinated attraction efforts, more paid co-op placements, stronger connection between students and local companies, and better onboarding experiences for relocated talent. Longer term, we want to see higher post-graduation retention rates, and that'll come down to better surveying practices, less friction for employers hiring younger workforce, and also stronger alignment between higher ed and industry needs. So just creating that, tuning up that workforce pipeline. And also just longer term, thinking about a more cohesive regional story that we can tell about opportunities here in Northwest Vermont. And it's really not about one program succeeding, it's about shifting the system so that talent attraction and retention becomes an intentional, measurable, and shared across all of these sectors. If we get this right, Northwest Vermont becomes not just a great place to visit or study, but an obvious place to build a career. Over time, what we hope to do is to scale co-ops, deepen employer adoption of retention practices, and align regional messaging. We just want to strengthen the system overall, and we hope that these humble efforts move the ball down the field towards that end. We already have really strong employers, we have strong colleges, and incredible quality of life here in Vermont. I was serious about the best sunsets in the world. But what we need is tighter coordination and clearer pathways for a younger workforce. If we build the system intentionally, we improve not just hiring outcomes, but also long-term economic resilience. So obviously this plan isn't about solving everything in 2 years. It's about building structures and pipelines and relationships that last. So if you're an employer, educator, community partner, there's a role for you in this. I'm excited to build a kind of talent ecosystem that makes staying in Vermont an obvious choice. Thank you for your time today. I'm happy to share the full written plan if anyone is interested or has any questions. Feel free to reach out. Special thanks to Rumsha and Amy at ACCE. This program has been excellent. I've really appreciated meeting everyone from around the country, as well as the very dynamic curriculum you all put together. So kudos to you. Look forward to hearing more about future fellows and what they're up to. Thank you all.